Hey everyone, so I did watch the Garfield movie yesterday. The perfect family adventure. There was some product placements in the movie, Walmart and I think that's it at the ending. So is the movie good? So Chris Pratt plays Garfield. Honestly, the movie kind of really doesn't feel like a Garfield movie. Garfield doesn't really seem like how he was. I mean, back in the 70s, in the comic strips, which, yeah, some of it I can kind of see why. Well, for one, John Arbuckle is still John Arbuckle. He's still a loser that no one likes. He still writes comics, which is okay. Garfield's no longer mean to Odie. He's no longer like kicking him off the table or chair or. In this one, Odie's more like Garfield's minion, or would I say he's a friend? I guess kinda. Normal shows up at the end. No Arlene. Oh, there's one of the villains in the movie. So this one is more like a origin story for Garfield, and we meet Vic, Garfield's dad. Okay, I'm just gonna flat out say this. In my honest opinion, I feel like this should have been a Heathcliff movie because it makes more sense there rather than a Garfield movie. Well, Heathcliff's dad is in jail, I believe, for like robbing a place. I know in Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, Heathcliff's dad tends to rob and steal like anything. Like he'll know about like, oh, a golden egg or a jeweled egg. Then he breaks out of jail to steal it. He ends up failing and ends up getting arrested again and goes back in jail, which explains why he's still in jail. He often breaks out to see his son, Heathcliff. Now, if you switch out Garfield for Heathcliff, I think the movie wouldn't change. Actually, it might be a bit better. And in the comic strips, Heathcliff was abandoned as a kitten. Well, Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, we do meet Heathcliff's mom, who's like a fancy rich cat. And we know Heathcliff's dad is an alley cat, a homeless cat. So I'm guessing the owner found out his cat got pregnant and kicked Heathcliff out, which led to him living on the street and trying to fend for himself. Honestly, I feel like this should have been a Heathcliff movie. As for Odie, you can easily switch him out with Spike and... Honestly, I think that would have been kind of cool. Spike and Heathcliff Spike and Heathcliff have a little bit of a... They're frenemies. Sometimes they're friends, other times they're enemies at each other's throats. But sometimes they do work together and are friends, but other times they try to kill each other and attack each other. Now, it would have made more sense if it was like Heathcliff's dad. Maybe he ran with a gang when he was much younger, then betrayed them, or someone caused them to take a fall. And then he tries to get Heathcliff's help for a heist. Honestly, there's Otto the bull and Ethel the cow. Yeah, I kind of like the love story between Ethel and Otto. It's nice. Not terrible, but not horrible. I'm gonna have to get a new phone eventually. I really don't want to because the one I have is a Tribute Monarch, which is a discontinued phone. They don't make them anymore. This also means if it gets damaged or destroyed, I can't repair it or get it fixed because the parts are so expensive. But I don't want to spend $1,000 for another phone. Rip off. Even though the phone might be worth it, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to afford that in my life. Well, it'll take me a while to probably afford. Put money aside for that. There's these black bars at the bottom of my phone. Anyway, the movie it does have some characters from, like, some references here and there. Liz is in the movie. She doesn't really talk to John, but John still makes, like, goo-goo eyes at her. So indicating he still likes her. Though in the comic strip, it took him 20 years. Yeah, I think, like, they started dating in the 1990s in the comic strip. So for 20 years, John Arbuckle kept harassing Liz, asking her out every time. And eventually she said yes, just to shut him up. And they had fun, which led to a second date, a third. Then they're engaged to get married. She still is embarrassed by him, by some of the stuff he does, which, yeah. Also, no Lyman in the movie at all. Yeah, Lyman is Odie's owner. There's a comic strip where John chains him out of the attic and he dies, which... Don't know if that comic strip is canon or no, but yeah. Yeah, as the movie itself, it's okay. It's not terrible. I don't hate it. But there is a problem I do need to discuss, and that's Garfield himself. Garfield really doesn't feel like he's Garfield anymore. It's like each movie, game, or whatever that's out, Garfield really doesn't feel like how he was back in the 70s, 80s, or even 90s. Yeah, 2020, they made like a comic about normal cyber safety. When this one, Garfield is Normal's father. A fate worse than death. But yeah, what else can I say about the movie? The characters were fun. What else? What else happens in the movie? Not much. John finds Garfield as a kitten, takes him home. Then he moves to a house. Not the same address from the comic strip or Garfield and Friends or the Garfield Cartoon Network show. I also think Garfield might be a Nickelodeon guy, too. I'm still hoping for a Heathcliff movie. I still would love to see a Heathcliff-Garfield crossover movie. Maybe. Well, it's possible. Maybe. I know MeTV is having like an old cartoon thing, and Heathcliff, they're bringing old Heathcliff stuff there, so that's cool. So people still know about Heathcliff and like Heathcliff, so that's good. Arlene is not in the movie for some reason. Normal shows up as a cameo at the end credits. Who else from Garfield? I don't think any of the other characters from Garfield and Friends are there. I'm trying to think of the characters. That egg guy that's in the shell. The pig. I'm trying to think of the characters were there. He was cool throughout the movie. Okay movie. Yeah, so I hope everyone has a wonderful, fun day.